Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to today's sets in the Go Battle League. And today we are going to start into the new season, Delightful Days. As you might already saw, we do have a lot of move updates for this season. And today we are going to try out one of the new Pokemon. And I decided to try out Shadow Metang today. That Pokemon got Fury Cutter, a move which is buffed as well. So today we are going to lead with Metang, Shadow Metang, with Fury Cutter, Psyshock and Guraball, as well as Galarian Moltres as the safe switch with Sucker Punch, Fly, a new move as well, and Brave Bird. And at the back we do have a Shadow Quagsire with Mudshot, Aqua Tail and Stone Edge. Alright, the first battles of the season are always a bit weird, but we are going to start into the new season anyway and see what we can do here. As you can see, rank 1, so this is the first fight of the new season for me. Last season, unfortunately, I wasn't able to reach the legend rank. It was only rank 23 for me. And we are starting the season with an absolute hard counter lead and hard counter safe switch. But we can survive the Ice Beam with the Galarian Moltres and use the Brave Bird here. For a bit of damage, I guess. I'm just waiting for the timer and then switch into the Metang. And to be honest, I will go for a complete farm down here. And then have super effective Psyshocks against the Salazzle. Here we go. Shield and into the Quagsire. Look at that Mudshot damage. I think a no shield is fine here. It's the Dragon pulls, alright, for a solid amount of damage. But now we can go for a farm down here against that thing. What do you have at the back? The Azumarill is coming back, alright. We're gonna knock out that thing. And then we will see what the last Pokemon is. Oh god, it's a grass type. Ivysaur, okay. I wasn't fast enough with my move here, unfortunately. But hopefully we are still fine here. Thanks for using a move that I'm not losing with 2 shields here. Sludge Bomb, alright. CMP type with the Psyshock, and maybe that's enough damage to knock out the Ivysaur here. That would be nice. Alright, first win of the season. It was a bit closer than necessary, but I'm still fine with that. We do have our first win of the season in the first battle here. After a complete hard counter lead and a hard counter switch. But still, we are carrying on here with the Shadow Metang. So far I can't really say anything about that Pokemon. But let's see what else we can do. And another Incinerate Pokemon. Wow. 2 out of 2 so far, I guess. Okay, you are staying in here with this Pokemon. So I'm using Galarian Moltres' new move, Fly. Getting a shield from the opponent. And if that's a crunch, I would survive that. it's a flamethrower. Okay, I can't survive a flamethrower. But I'm just waiting for the switching timer and then come in with the Quagsire here. Not going to use a move here. And I'm not using a shield probably. It's a flamethrower, that's fine for me. And we are just farming down the opponent, who is not switching out here. And he has a Dugong. Alright. That's why we do have the Stone Edge. Second shield from the opponent here. And another fire type Pokemon. Okay. Let's just knock out that Rapidash here. Probably a pretty unexperienced player. We are using the Stone Edge for super effective damage and then the switch out into the Metang. Nice, that was solid. And now we're just farming down with the Fury Catzer here. Aurora Beam, okay. And that's it. Nice one. So far we had 2 fire-type Pokemon against the Metang, so hopefully we can avoid them now again. I mean, the opponent made a bit of a mistake here by switching out from the Dugong into that Rapidash, but that's the start of the season, I guess. And here we are having an Azumarill. I would say that's a pretty solid lead for us. And that's not a Hydro Pump, that's an Ice Beam, I guess. Yep. And I'm just spamming Psyshocks here. Both moves are neutral. Yeah, that's a solid amount of damage, I guess. We are over farming a bit here. Getting the shield from the Azumarill, that's pretty nice. And we can definitely survive this Ice Beam here. Nice. And into the next Psyshock. And we're getting the second shield from the opponent, that's pretty nice. So now I will come in with the Moltres. I know the Sucker Punches are resisted, but still they are doing a bit of damage. 3, let's shield this Ice Beam here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can't farm down without shielding a second time, and then I would reach 100% energy, so that's why I used this Fly here. I'll go with a Charmer. Let's just save that move. Oh, it's... Okay, it's Hisuian Avalok. Nice Pokemon, but I don't think it can survive a Stone Edge from the Quagsire. Nope. And back in action is Wigglytuff. We do have a Brave Bird on the Galarian Moltres. So we should be able to win this battle here. Okay, we don't even need that Brave Bird. It is just enough to knock that thing out with the Aqua Tail from the Quagsire here. Nice. I would say the Metang did a pretty solid job here against that Azumarill. And in we go to the next battle of the day. There are loads of Pokemon to try out in this new season, so I'm really a bit hyped about that, to be honest. Mandibuzz lead into Incineroar. It would definitely be better to make the Quagsire switch here. But I'm not that experienced with that team, so I just switched into the Moltres. But I'm getting the shield anyway. And you are getting one shield back here with a flame charge. That's fine for me. Let's just use the second fly, and if you are shielding this move, it would be fine for me as well, I guess. Then I would be able to come in with the Quagsire and farm you down. So I'm just waiting a bit for the timer and then come in with the Quagsire. If that is Dark Lariat, then I want to shield this move. Dark Pulse, okay. Fine as well. Please don't reach a second one. Nice. And in comes the Mandibuzz, the Pokemon why we do have the Stone Edge. Nice damage. Nice damage from that Stone Edge here. That's a Dark Pulse, we can survive pretty easily. And I want to save that move and make the switch into Metang. Probably a Dark type move for super effective damage. Oh, it's just an Aerial Ace we caught here, that's nice. Oh god. You wanted to bait out that Metang. Double Fire Fang is a bit wild here. Okay, but probably a short lag from the opponent, and that's why we are able to reach that second Psyshock here. Nice one. That was a Shadow Shiny Arcanine. A nice Pokemon. But we are still winning here with the Stone Edge of our Quagsire. Here we go. A lot of Fire-type Pokemon so far. People really want to play that Fire-type Pokemon. Maybe because of that Bug-type buff and Steel-type buff, actually. Maybe they wanted to counter these Pokemon here. But I haven't seen a Forrestress or a Skyzer or something like that. So maybe the people are just overusing the Fire types a bit. Or it is just because it's the start of the season. Golisopod with the new move. Golisopod with the new move. Let's go for a no shield here. It's the Axe Scissor for neutral damage. And another new Pokemon. Nice. That opponent really enjoys that move update as well. Hurricator Golisopod into Acid Dragalg. I want to try to use a shield and farm that thing down. That would be nice. And it is not working, but we are surviving that Aqua Tail for sure. Yeah. And Shadow Claw Feraligatr is at the back. I don't really want to face that thing with the Metang. That was important. Oh yes, that was super important that we are able to reach that fly here. Second shield from the opponent. But what should I do now? That's the question. I don't know if that was a good idea. But we got a bit of energy on the Metang, so hopefully we are fast enough to outspeed that. Ooh, solid catch from the opponent. That Galarian support I wanted to say. Strong catch from the opponent there. Okay, then I will go for a no shield here. Against the Feraligatr. Do you already have back-to-back again? Probably. I didn't count the moves, to be honest. You do have that. But I guess that's not too bad for us here. We are having a 4-1 at the start of the season with that new team. And that is our first reward of the season. It's a Mienfoo, it's not a Hundo. A Hundo would have 793 CP. I know that because I already got 3 Hundo Mienfoo out of the Go Battle League, which is a bit ridiculous, but it still happened. 4-1 with set number 1, and we are carrying on here. Rank 2. We are carrying on with our team here. What can we do with our Shadow Metang here? Against this opponent with a shiny Mandibuzz. Nice Pokemon. With Air Slash, that's actually pretty good for me. And I am catching a Dark type move, hopefully. No, it's the Aerial Ace. I don't know if that was a bait or if you're just only playing with one move. But we can survive this move as well here. It's another Aerial Ace. And we are using our Fly here. We're actually having the same typing, which is pretty cool. Next Fly. Are you gonna use a shield here or not? You're using a shield, okay. Then we will just wait for the timer and then make the switch into Metang. Maybe you only do have one move. Let's just find out. It's the Aerial Ace. Really looks like you're only playing one move here on that Pokemon. Another Aerial Ace. Okay. We farmed down the Mandibuzz and in comes an Incinerate Pokemon. What else, I guess? What else? Shiny as well. 3. And in comes Kabutops, shiny Kabutops. Triple shiny team. That really looks nice. Oh, that Aqua Tail is doing a solid amount of damage. So I'm just going to shield here, farm that thing down, and then probably knock out the Turtonator with the Stone Edge. Because Aqua Tail would be just neutral damage because of that Dragon type. But I guess the Stone Edge should be enough to knock out that thing here. Ooh, Overheat. Nice. Stone Edge into the win here. And into the next battle we go. Wigglytuff lead. That's actually pretty fine here. The Fury Cutters are resisted, but the Charms are as well. And we do have the super effective Guro Ball here, which we are using. Oh yes. And it's the Incinerate Pokemon again. That's crazy how many Incinerate Pokemon there are. And I guess I want to shield that move here. And it is the Fly. Bastiodon, oh god. Oh my god. It would even be better to just use the Brave Bird that I'm getting farmed down a bit faster from that thing. What happened here? Is it a disconnect, or are you just waiting that I don't get that much farm? No, it's probably a disconnect from the opponent. That's a bit unfortunate. Hopefully my move is going through here. That would be nice. Alright. And that was it here. Next battle. Into the next battle we go here. With our shiny Metang against Eden. That's a bit of a core breaker, to be honest. That thing is buffed as well with the parabolic charge. So I don't want to shield the first move here. That's a solid amount of damage. But at least that Psyshock is neutral as well here. We're getting the shield. And we are catching the parabolic charge and get one Mudshot. That was exactly what I wanted to do. Resisted. And Annihilate, the Shadow version, comes in. That depends a bit on the moveset. Not against Quagsire, but later against the Galarian Moltres. But I still want to farm down that thing. It's a Rage Fist. Okay. We don't even have to use a shield here, which is pretty nice. Into the Fly. No shield from the opponent. Okay, so the Brave Bird would definitely be the better option here. But I still should be able to farm that thing down after the parabolic charge, which is buffing your defense. That was unlucky, to be honest. That was a bit unlucky. What do you have at the back? The buffed Gligar, I see. It is the new buffed Gligar. Okay, we're saving that for later. If I'm lucky enough, then I will reach that fly. But maybe we're just one Fury Cutter away from getting knocked out here. I'm not 100% sure about that. But we will see. It is the dig. And we can't use the fly because the damage from the Fury Cutter was calculated first. That's what I wanted to say. Alright, but we are carrying on here with our Shadow Metang. Against Superior, that's nice. That's super nice. Oh, look at that damage. And I'm just switching into the Quagsire that I don't have to fight with Quagsire against a Grass-type Pokemon. If you're getting the switch here, I wouldn't really mind, to be honest. Aquatail. Getting the shield from that thing. I guess that's enough to knock me out here. It is. But I still do have the Metang with Psyshock. Using one Fury Cutter and then the Psyshock to absolutely make the best out of that timing. And we are knocking out the Primeape. And an Incinerate Pokemon again. That's a Rock Tomb, and that's a move I definitely have to shield here. Into the Superior, which I would say is fine for me. Leaf Tornado, okay. The Fly is super effective as well, but I'm on -3 now, so I'm probably not doing that much damage anymore. No, it's actually fine. And it is fine for me if you're knocking me out, because then you would not be able to farm me down with that Macargo. Okay, I have to switch out now. Use that Psyshock. I do have a Fly on the Moltres. But the Fly is obviously resisted, so now I really need one move out of the Metang. That would be super important. Psyshock. Please do a bit of damage. Come on, Metang. That's neutral. That's a neutral damage. Nice. Now we should be fine. Now we really should be fine with that Fly. Come on, Moltres. Just knock out that thing, please. Nice. We were only able to win that battle here because of our new move here. Now that's probably not true. Otherwise I would play the Ancient Power, and I think they need the same amount of energy, if I'm correct here. So we would win that battle anyway. But still pretty nice. So many Incinerate Pokemon, that's crazy. And that's actually not what I want to see with my Metang here. I was expecting more Forrestress, to be honest. And you are playing Bug Bite, the new move here. I think that was 17 Bug Bites, so just a Rock Tomb. Exactly. Resisted. And now we know that we lose the CMP tie against that thing. into the fly. Okay, we're getting the shield from that thing. So you will get a shield back. Rock Tomb. Expected. And a Mandibuzz. Yeah, I guess that's fine for me. Dark Pulse, okay. I'm gonna use a Brave Bird and then switch out into what actually? Probably the Quagsire. Yep, let's use the Quagsire. And I will no shield here. Mandibuzz is so tanky that the damage should be fine here. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. And I want to knock that thing out with a Stone Edge here. But you're actually shielding this Mandibuzz here. So probably I should shield back. Dark Pulse, alright. And in comes a Dusknoir. That's a Pokemon I also don't want to see against my Metang. But I can do this with the Moltres. And I think that should knock you out here. And it is knocking you out. Shiny Dusknoir. Okay, we can farm down the Forestress. But the Mandibuzz still does have a bit left here. I don't know, I think I want to come in with a Metang. Psyshock wouldn't do the job. So if you are knocking me out here, I would be fine. Yep. And Aqua Tail would knock you out here. Please do something, Quagsire. Thank you for that. And that is a pretty close battle, but we are winning it. Nice one. That Aqua Tail is enough to knock out the Mandibuzz. Nice one. And that's another 4-1 here. With a Paldean Wooper as our reward. 4-1. And we are reaching rank 3 here today. And there's nothing else I can say than thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.